And good morning on another morning coffee with Marcaida. And how's everybody doing? So, the thing I was thinking about today is that, watching things all over Facebook and the news and seeing visions and scenes of violence. It's amazing that you can see that violence is so easily seen everywhere now because of social media and all these different things, that it gives you that sense of fear of what's going on out there. Lots of violence, live in violent times. So, I'm going to take martial arts so that I can counter the violence with what? More violence. Great. Now you're just part of the whole scene. So one of the things I've always said is that martial arts should be more than just learning how to defend yourself. Should be more than just learning how to fight. Should be more than all these other things about the combat medium of what it's about. Why? Because sometimes you have to really truly understand, the essence of violence and what it leads to. Fighting fire with fire doesn't quench the fire, right? So I always say that martial arts should at least be more than that. There are other things that you can use that for. We know the self-defense is there. We know that learning how to fight or counter offense is there. It's there. It's built in. That's why it's a martial way. But that can also be viewed as a medium. That could also be viewed as a particular set of violence that you have to learn to control. So you go into the class so that you can control this thing. Martial means control, martial law, the act of the arts. You want to be able to control that, because sometimes controlling that is all that we really can get out of a martial art class. We control ourselves. We control our temperament. We can control ourselves. That's one thing we will say. We can control me. I cannot control what's around me, but I can control me. But what happens when somebody wants to fight you and you have to defend yourself? Well, learning martial arts actually is a sense of control. It's controlling your mind. We actually go through a lot of, shall we say, sequences in our head of what if somebody does this, I will do this. You're constantly playing through scenarios in your head that you can get away of or save yourself. That's a martial art way. That's a martial way of using your physical self to be able to do that, where it's punches, kicks, or everything, or getting off these techniques, because once you've brought your mind there, the body can follow, and learning the techniques and all these things will actually teach you that. But better than that is to be aware, to prevent these things from ever happening in the first place. And that's how martial can control. I can control my environment by simply avoiding and putting myself in situations where I have to use the physical self. Because no matter how good you are, there is no guarantee for anything. I'll guarantee you that. That's the one thing I've learned. I don't care how good, how fast you are in your realm. Or I can do this and everything, what? In the ring where there are rules and everything is, in the rule of the streets when violence is there, it's simply as, blah, 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 I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. And the guy goes, yeah, kata, bang. Or, blah, 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 all right, good. Bang, stab, done, walk away. Why? It's too noisy. But the whole idea is, you can't prepare for sudden violence. There's no such thing. It's just saying, you're asking too much. You don't believe me? Look through history. How many grandmasters, how many so-called badasses, how many so-called very skilled people in the skills that they have were felled by a bullet or a stab or ambush? It happens. Better yet, maybe if you learn to make yourself a better person in life instead of a bitter one, always going there. Because you see, martial arts in some groups are all about martial arts for the testosterone, martial arts for the young, martial arts for the physically fit. Really? I think it's more than that. It's not just for the young. There are arts for the old, because what happens when your art, when you have to do all these jumping kicks and all these things, what happens when you get older and you get injuries? Is that art no longer for you? That's sad to think that it's done at a certain age. What if as you're growing older, you develop illnesses, diabetes, and all these other things that take away from you? Can you still go back to that art? And the answer is yes, you should. There are ways to make this part, because martial arts eventually become your life. And you should find a way to find the arts that make it part of your life. That's why I say when you're finding a dojo or a school, first of all, find one that's very welcoming. Because this is the place that you're going to be spending a lot of your time on. Then the people around you, are they the kind of people that you would take to your home? Are they the kind of people that you would like to hang around with? If these people are violent and other things, or very angry about whatever it is, do you really want to bring that back with you? Is this the kind of people you want around your family? And you will become them. Birds of the same feather. That's why I say that the sins of the father should never follow the sins of the son. to their sons is when you see teachers that go, I hate that guy, or that's not the kind of martial arts. They're the politics, right? What do? They make their students not like that people. That's not right. You cannot pass it on. Whatever problems you may have with somebody else should never be passed on to your students. But there's a sense of loyalty. Well, better for the teacher to be bigger than that and say, I appreciate you, but you know what? My issue with that school or that art or that system is my issue. It shouldn't be yours. That's the kind of thing that you want to find. People who have a sense of integrity and honor, not to mix it up. And these are the things I'm talking about, that martial arts is more than just fighting. There's honor, there's integrity, there's respect. Because when you learn respect in an art, you learn to respect everybody and not egg them on. Not think that you're better than anybody, because then you're going to get shot in the back of the head. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully never. But even to go, I defended myself and I did that. Good. Did you prevent yourself, or did you go in there looking for a fight? So the whole point about it is, I hope it's more than just the outward thing of self-defense. It's about living a better life. Now, are there other things? Of course, there's things about being physically fit. The physical parts of moving, of doing stuff. Not necessarily as crazy as all the other stuff. If you're young enough and you're fit enough, do that. But look at Tai Chi and how they use the mechanics of the body to breathe and open up the meridians and all that. But these are taken from combat moves. So it's in there. The act of moving, the act of being able to continually move, that's all it takes. And you can do that. Now, if you start to see the parallels of constantly moving this way, why not move that way every day in your life? As you're walking home, so you're constantly training. It becomes part of you. You should see martial ways in everything that you do, not just when you're training. So moving on with that, makes you better in life. And more than that, people with post-traumatic stress orders or any kind of injuries, right? Martial arts should be able to cater them. Recently, I've been getting a lot of inquiries, like, of some veterans, and people have been saying, look, I have this PTSD, and can you recommend what kind of martial art to take? First of all, the fact that you recognize that you have that and needs to be taken care of or treated is awesome, because most do not even recognize or hide away from that. It doesn't matter what the art you pick. What matters are the people who are teaching it. Is this a place where I'm welcoming? Is this a place where I can, for 1 second, even just get away from things and have an activity that betters me and betters the people, that's welcome to me? Because a lot of them don't want to be fixed, because they don't know, am I broken? Maybe just coming here and accepting me is enough. Then working with me and treating me just like a regular person is enough. Don't try to fix me. I'll come to you and I'll ask for your help in due time. Maybe just being there for me, and then we're doing an activity we both love. So I tell them, find a place that's welcoming to you. Find an art that interests you. Not like, I don't want to do that, or I have to do this. No, that's pretty cool. I want to learn that. Because in the act of learning that and doing that, you actually start to heal, because your mind is away. You're doing something new, something exciting, something that you enjoy. What? In martial arts? Absolutely. Then you make a sense of a community. Everybody becomes your friend. Everybody becomes your brother or sister. It's a place that I like to hang out to. How many places are like that? It's not a babysitting place where you bring your kids all the time, right? Martial arts can be more than that. And even if you do take your kids over there, are you friends with the family and the parents? Because your kids are beside mine. Or is this just like a place where, okay, I pay, babysit my kids and get them all these other things? I mean, there are different ways to do that, but there could be more. And there should be more. It's a matter of you training yourself to see the art form and make it more than what it is. Because it's not all the same. For those of you who have never done that, you can find people, a lot of backyard instructors, people who teach at their home because they don't believe in certain ways that to commercialize things. And commercialize, is nothing wrong with that. Because try running a school. You never find a really rich martial artist over there. It's hard to make those payments and keep people and students there. So there's a reason why they have to do these things. But what's important is that your child or yourself have found a home to where it makes you a better person in life. Not a Cobra Kai, not a place where I'm going to be building all my testosterone, go out there, beat somebody, and end up in jail or whatever. I hope it's a place that you can find comfort in, because that's what, to me, the art is all about. Am I prepared? I think training the combat arts will give you a better fighting chance. That if you're aware and you can do something, you do have a fighting chance. Number one, run. I've got the fighting chance to understand that I can survive. Number two, if I am trapped and I have to do this, I know something. So it gives you a fighting chance, but it's never guaranteed. Sudden violence when you're aware or when you're in a sleep, it's not going to help. All this, whatever you know, when you're asleep or you're not expecting it, doesn't matter. But you can be aware and you can prepare and not put yourself in these different bad situations that can escalate to something that, well, you don't want to be part of, right? So these are the different thoughts on martial arts, and once again, I want to start to share with people because, as of late, there are these different visions of what the arts used to be and what they are today, and I don't believe that it's like that all over the world. There are still people who maintain and understand the two parts of the art, and these are the people who live the arts, where the martial art is their life, and there are a lot of people to seek out there and make this your home. Doug Marcaida here, Morning Cup of Joe. Take care, guys.